What's up, everybody? Since we now know one of the next Second Awakening families is going to be the Griffons, we don't know what the other one is. There's been some theories that it might be like the Battle Mammoths, that it might be the Hellhounds. We're not sure what the next Second Awakening, what the other Second Awakening monster is going to be. But we do know that based on the different teasers that they gave us, and we took a look at the numbers surrounding them when we figured out they were trying to spell out Spectra, so that the Griffons are the next Second Awakening monsters, we can theorize and say what kind of buffs do we think that they're going to get. Some of them are already really good, and we've seen in the past that anything that's already really good doesn't really get too much better. Like, for example, Ramagos got a little tweak. Everyone's base stats get better, but as far as skills, like, they don't change them too much. However, things like the Dark Pixie or the Dark Fairy, those have gotten significantly changed because they were just like nothing before. They were really bad, so they're like, let's just buff this, let's buff this, let's make it much better, significantly better, so that it's actually usable in some way instead of being like, yeah, don't build that, there's no reason to build that, that doesn't do really anything. So we're going to theorize what we think may get more buffs. I mean, it should be obvious what's going to get more buffs than others, and maybe what the different buffs on the units are. And this is just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments below as far as what you think, what you're hoping for. I know everyone's going to be like, Bernard's going to get an attack buff. No, they're not going to do that. They're not insane. They are insane. They're not going to do that. There's no way. There's no way that's not going to happen. No. There's no way. I cannot think of any universe where they would attack power buff Bernard with skill 3. I'm sorry. I know you want it. I know you want it, but that's not going to happen. That is just... yeah, that would be the most OP monster. That would be better than Nat 5s, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the different units and let's see what we think they're going to get buffed with. First one is Bernard. Already a good... while we're on the subject of Bernard, he's already a good unit. Let's take a look at it. We know his skills. Do we need to take a look at his skills? We can take a look at his skills. Damage based on speed. This one is attack, power, and defense break. Already a good skill, though. And then this one is Tailwind. You know what it does, increase attack gauge. You're like, Bega, I use Bernard every single day for like 6 years. I know what he does. A speed buff, attack gauge boost, and then he's got the leader skill. Already a good leader skill too. He's a staple of many Lucian teams. Let's take a look at what potentially he might get. Look, I did a little, it looks so pretty. Oh my goodness. Bagel, it's almost like you thought of this before you actually started talking in the video. It's almost like that, right? It's almost like that. Already a good unit. Everything is going to get buffed base stats, which his base stats are actually pretty good already. Like, if you take a look at his base defense is, when he's 6-starred, 703. Let's take a look again at his base stats. Oh my god! I just realized how fast this was. That's insane, by the way. That's... Can we just... Dear Lord. God! Gosh darn! What the fuck? Okay. His base stats are really good, is what... Jeez, that guy's, like, secretly wishing that it was attack power buffed. He's like, yeah, let's go attack power buff. Let's go. Yeah, but already good base stats, buff base stats even more. They're gonna do that to everything. Skill 2, I don't feel like the skill 2 is gonna get buffed at all. That's a good skill 2. It's got attack power break, and it's got a defense break. Maybe it's a single target, but it's not a bad skill 2. For a Nat 3, right? Skill 3, probably a very small buff, maybe 3-turn speed buff instead of 2. Maybe a speed buff and another thing like a speed buff and a regen, a speed buff and a something small. Like something is not going to be attack power buff. It's not going to be a crit rate buff. That would be too OP as well. Something small though. I can't really see this guy being buffed too much. I'm sorry. But aside from the base stats, he's going to see a very small buff, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of, like, what they would even do. Like, maybe turn cycle. Maybe, like, he increases his attack gauge a little bit with skill 1. Like, skill 1, it attacks, it does damage based on speed, and maybe boosts up his attack gauge by 10%. Or skill 2, same thing. Boosts up his attack gauge by 10% or something like that. Maybe that, if anything, but I just don't see him being buffed too much. Honestly, I know everyone's excited about it, but like, God, that is a fast Bernard. Was that a Bernard or was that a Kabila that I saw? It's I don't know. That's time to start playing another game. Is what I'm saying. Okay, next on the list is Spectra. Spectre's got really crazy base speed, already 126 base speed. If they gave him any, like, that's dangerous to give him any kind of, like, really OP buff, right? For Spectre. Spectre's second skill, so Spectre's got the same first skill, damage based on speed. Second skill consumes 10% of your HP, does damage based on the enemy's max HP, really good for TOA. And then Backlash sends a gust of wind, 50% chance to decrease attack power of all enemies by 30% and decrease their attack speed for 2 turns. So potentially, what I'm seeing for a Spectre buff, he's already a good unit, but I could definitely see him being buffed a little bit more than Bernard at least, buffed to base stats. Skill 2 small buff, maybe he does damage, I don't know, I'm thinking does damage based on max HP and gets a shield, but that could be pretty strong, right? I don't know, I'm for whatever reason I'm thinking Daphnis, but like they're gonna do the same thing to damage, like, oh, we'll do damage and then give him a shield. Skill 3 small additional debuff maybe, right? It's got a slow, maybe like a slow and a glancing, a slow and a... If they did a slow and a defense break, that would be too OP. Slow and a... Slow and another debuff. And I also believe that that they're going to increase the reliability, because it's only 50% chance. So I feel like they're gonna increase the activation rate on that skill 3 as well. Because it's not a great activation rate for that. So I could see them definitely doing some more debuffs on skill 3 and higher activation rate, and then for skill 3, maybe a shield, maybe he does damage, he increases attack gauge. Like, I know I didn't write these on there, but I was thinking about it just now, and I'm like, maybe they'll do some kind of thing to increase their attack gauge when they, like, after they take a turn. Possibly, something like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, on to the next one. Khan. Oh my god, he's not good. He's going to get a buff. He's going to get a good buff. I mean, it might not be a good one, but he's going to get a more noticeable buff, right? Khan doesn't have anything going for him. He's got this first skill, same as Bernard. Second skill, same as Bernard, right? So that's not bad, right? He's a water unit. Sometimes that's beneficial. But the third skill, pursues an enemy, inflicts a critical wound. This damage proportional to your max HP and attack speed. Max HP and attack speed. So you want to run him with high speed and high crit high speed, high crit damage, and HP. And it's like he only does single target damage. Like it's like he's really not anything special. Like what the fuck could you even? I say what the fuck all the time. What the fuck could you even do to make him good? He's hot poo-poo. The first 2 skills are not bad though. Buff-based stats, of course. Skill 2 the same. I feel like the skill 2 is already good. Like it's the skill 3 that needs to be buffed, because the skill 3 makes him hot poo-poo. Like Bernard's got a great skill 3. No one uses Bernard for skill 1 or skill 2, even though they're like the skill 2 is not that bad, right? The skill 3 significant damage buff, maybe self buff or enemy debuff, maybe damage based on enemies' harmful effects or something like that. But just I could see, like, if they're going to keep it like a single target DPS skill, and I feel like they're not going to really change the skills too much. I feel like he's going to either do way bigger damage, or maybe he self buffs and does damage, or enemy debuffs and does damage, or something. Because I could see him maybe being usable in... I don't know, they gotta buff. That skill 3 is gonna get a big change. I feel like that skill 3 is gonna get a big change. Or they're gonna take it off completely. I mean, maybe they take it off completely and give him a passive, but I really don't see... I don't see them changing the skill to a passive. I see them just making it a crazy increase. Because he does not do anything special. Like, nobody's really building. Aside from the people that are building him for World Boss. Because some people... have like so many cons built for World Boss, and their World Boss skill is gonna go like through the roof. The few people that have like just crap tons of cons, their World Boss score is gonna go like crazy bananas. So it's already crazy bananas, but it's gonna go even more crazy bananas. This guy's gonna get a huge buff of some kind of skill 3, because it doesn't do anything now. I think YDCB already has him built, if I remember correctly. I guarantee after the next 2 A's, that's probably going to be his first one. Oh, well, maybe not. I don't know. But I know he's going to 2A that. I know for sure. That thing is already built on his account. Okay, on to the next one. This one, Shaman. Okay, so Shaman, another one. Terrible unit. Not a good unit. Very poo-poo unit. He's got the first skill like this. He's got the second skill. So it's a special assault. This is the same as Spectra. But the thing is, sometimes they'll change, like... the skill 2s will be different for the same monsters, even though it's like the same skill. Sometimes they like to change it up and like give one a buff of this kind and what. Didn't they do that to the werewolves? Hold on, let's take a look at the werewolves. Where are you, werewolf? Let's go take a look at this one. His okay, this is recovers HP 15% and increased attack speed. And this is recover HP, increased attack speed. But when they get second awakened, this one has a crit buff, or crit resist buff, and this one increases the attack gauge. So, in that situation, like they actually put two different buffs. Like it was the same skill, but they gave them two different second awakening buffs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Make that into a GIF, why don't you? Just kidding. So I feel like maybe he might even get a different second skill, right? And then the passive is just terrible. Increase resistance by 20% and increased resistance by 20%. Wow. Oh my god, who's excited about that? It decreases inflicted damage from dark monsters. The only reason people were ever building him was because he was a Zeratu tank. And like, a couple people built him and they were like, well, he's built now. If I ever need to go into a Zeratu in Guild Wars, Zeratu was probably already killing him anyway. But yeah, you can't even use him in like, if you think about like Rift Beast, oh my goodness, like you can't even use him in Rift Beast. He's just like such a bad monster. He's gonna get the biggest buff, I feel. So he's very super poo-poo right now. That's my official analysis of the unit. Buff base stats, of course, everything is going to get a base stat buff. Skill 2 small buff may be different from Spectra. I already said this before. And I've mentioned that they've done this before, like with the werewolves. His skill 3 is going to get massive, maybe even meta-changing passive adjustment. Like, he could be the next Dark Cat. I don't know, but he's going to get a massive difference. He's gonna get a big thing. Shaman's like, oh, I'm going to get a big thing. Yeah, Shaman, you're going to get potentially a big thing. Because remember, like, all the ones that are, like, super poo-poo before, they get the biggest buffs. So, Shaman is going to get... He should get a fairly substantial buff. And then who's the last one? Of course, Varus is the last one. I actually like Varus. So, Varus is different because Varus, with the first skill, he stuns. He does damage based on speed, and he stuns. He also has a better passive than Shaman already. Right, he's got this attack, power break, defense break, the same as the other ones, right? The same as the water one and the wind one, which is not bad. But he already has a stun, so he already has a better first skill. And then he has this, increases defense by 50%, which is actually much better than the resistance crap, right? Recovers 20% of the damage inflicted to enemies as HP, so he's got already a vampire set basically on him. He's got defense, he's got a permanent defense buff. Better skill 1 than everyone else, and he's got a heal. Like, that's pretty awesome. He's already a pretty good, like a pretty solid unit, right? So as far as Varus is concerned, I really don't see too many things going on with Varus. He's already pretty good. Buff base stats, skill 2 already good. Small passive buff, crit resist, I don't know, but I really don't see this guy getting buffed too much because he's already a solid unit. So in my opinion, or in my analysis, I don't know. I just feel like Bernard and Spectre Bernard's gonna get barely touched. Varus a little barely touched, kind of just a little tweak. Spectra's gonna get a little bit more debuffs probably. Higher activation rate, maybe some more debuffs on skill 2, skill 3. And then Khan and Shaman are gonna get these huge, tremendous, massive buffs to the skill 3 on Khan and the Shaman passive, and then everything is going to get better base stats because that's what it always gets. But anyway, that's just my input for the next Second Awakening monsters. What are you hoping for? What do you think is going to get buffed? What do you think they might do? Leave it in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just wanted to share some information. Well, not information, just wanted to share some what did I say before? Share whatever. Share input. This is my input. Yeah, share my input. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you as always in the next one.